Hey, it's Derek Morton with this week's episode of Cedar City Real Estate 411. For this week's episode, I'd like to discuss the 4 really positive things that we're seeing in our local Cedar City real estate market. First off is that sales are up. They've increased gradually every year since 2008. For example, in 2008 there was 528 sales. In 2010 there were 661 total sales for all of Iron County that are residential purchases. In 2011 so far we're on pace to reach about 680 to 700 sales, which is a pretty good market. Number 2 is that homes have never been affordable. The combination of plummeting home prices as well as historically low interest rates means that you can buy more home for your money. 2 examples of this. First off, if you want to take my house, as much as it pains me to use a personal example here, I'm going to do so. In 2007, I bought my home for $182,500, which equals about $110 a square foot, since my home is about 1,600 square feet. Now my home is worth approximately $110,000 if I round up. It's okay to puke up in your mouth a little bit. I just did. Nothing wrong with that. Which means it's worth about $67 a square foot. So a savings of $53 a square foot on just my home. Now the other aspect of that with the historically low interest rates is take an average family with an income of about $46,000. If they have no debts, I know that's rare and not necessarily average, but it makes it easy to help facilitate this point. So that family that has $46,000 of average income with no debt can qualify for a home of $250,000 at an interest rate of 5%. But for each 0.5% that interest rate goes up, they lose potential buying power of $12,000 to $15,000. The third positive is that we'll start to see a slow return to a normal buying cycle. By normal buying cycle, I mean that, so you are a home buyer, you purchase a home from a seller. That seller then turns around and uses what equity they have to be able to buy a new home. And then that seller who sold it to the new buyer once again turns around and buys a new home. That's the normal market. That's the way it typically worked, and the way it's worked for years, which is why most people thought home values would never drop. But because of the high rate of foreclosures, through 2010, about 40% of all sales from 2008 to 2010 were distressed sales, which means those people either sold their home short sale or lost it to foreclosure, which means they won't be creditworthy for another 3 to 5 years. 3 years at the earliest if it's short sale, 5 years at the earliest if it's a foreclosure. So what that means is, say if a home buyer sold their home via short sale in 2008, at the minimum of 3 years, they'd be possibly eligible through their credit to buy a new home this year. In fact, in our office just last week, we closed up on a property that the buyers, I had previously helped facilitate their short sale in 2008, and now they were buying, ironically enough, another short sale, which was actually a better price and for a bigger home than they had lost in 2008. And we expect more of these people to be able to gradually enter the market, to where the apex will probably be about 2013, where you can start to see a maximum of those people coming in. Why? Because if you lost your home in 2008, 5 years from then is 2013. If you sold your home via short sale in 2010, 3 years from then is 2013. 2010 had the highest rate of short sales and foreclosures. So that's why 2013 on the short sales, you can start to see, you'll get the double effect of the people who lost their home to foreclosure in 2008 possibly be able to start buying their homes in 2013, and short sales in 2010 be able to once again buy in 2013. Now the fourth positive is that foreclosure activity is slowing. This probably is the best news that many of you guys can hear. In fact, as of March 25th, new notice of default recordings, meaning people that are behind on their homes or behind on their payments for 3+ months, that's what gets recorded. There are 25 less recordings than they were at this same point, or 63 less at this point in 2011 than there were last year in 2010, and 47 less than in 2009. So we are at the lowest rate of new notice of default filings in the last 2 years. Now, trustees' deeds, which is what's recorded in the county when the bank takes the home back in foreclosure, there are 24 less than in 2010 and 29 more than in 2009, so we're right in the middle. But we're still behind last year's pace, which was the highest on record. So those are your 4 positives. That sales are up, homes are more affordable than they've ever been, we're starting to see a slow return to the buying cycle, to a normal buying cycle, and that 4th, that the foreclosure activity is slowing. So I hope you enjoyed this and can start to see some of the positives that are going on. And remember, when you need your closings done, to choose Mountain View Title, because while others may sell, at Mountain View Title we close.